Hi everyone. Um, Today I want to talk about something that is very important for me and my family. Uh, and it's also a little bit of a complicated topic, but I think you will be able to understand it. I want to talk about politics, but not general politics. I want to specifically talk about how people in Washington state, my state, uh, how residents of Washington state vote. Now, I remember that Japan recently had uh, political elections. So I think that this is a good time to share with you how people in Washington state vote. So I'm going to flip the video so that I can show you how we vote. Okay. One of the very special things about living in Washington state is that Washington state residents, meaning people who live in Washington state, are able to vote by mail. So we we receive our official voting ballot. A ballot is what we use to vote. We receive our official ballot in the mail, and then we can vote and mail our ballot to the state of Washington. Now, what does that look like? So I have already opened my my ballot. So this is what a ballot looks like. Well, actually, this is what a ballot actually looks like. The ballot gives us instructions on how to vote. So we use a black ink pen to completely fill in the oval next to my choice, the black pen. If I make a mistake, if I vote for person A and I think, nah, I'll vote for person B, then I can correct my mistake. And this gives me instructions on how to correct a mistake. So what we have on this ballot, on this official voting ballot, are things related to the state of Washington, and then King County, and then the city of Seattle, my city. So before I continue, I want to explain state, county, and city. America has 50 states, as you know. I live in Washington state, so these things are related to Washington state. I live in each state, there are many different counties. In Washington state, I live in King County. In each county, there are many different cities. Seattle is inside King County. Two other famous cities are Bellevue, which has many technology companies like Expedia, and also many different financial companies. And then the other famous city is Redmond. Now, the reason why Redmond is very famous is because that is the headquarters for Microsoft. That's where the Microsoft headquarters is located. Okay, so I have things to vote on for state, for county, and for my city of Seattle. The question is, right? You might have a question. Well, how do I gain more information about these people? Like, how do I learn more about these initiatives and these people? Well, every year, Washington State sends us a voters pamphlet for Washington State elections. In this information, or in this pamphlet, there are lots of information about different things to vote on. All right. Even more important is that King County sends us an official local voters pamphlet. And inside, I can look up my city, City of Seattle, page 35. And I can now read more information about my local election. Now, this is for mayor. This is really important because the mayor has a lot of power in my city. Something really special about this election is that this is the second time Seattle, my city of Seattle, will have a female mayor. The first time Seattle had a female mayor was about 80 years ago. 80. That's a long time ago, right? So this year we will have a new female mayor. That is very exciting. Each candidate, the word candidate means someone you vote for, someone running for election. Each candidate writes their own information so that you can learn about them. You can learn about their history. You can learn about what they support. You can learn about what is important for them. And of course, if you want to know more, you can look at their website, or you can email them or call them and talk to them. Now, there's more information, so city attorney, new council member. You can read lots of information about the different candidates. Okay, now, this is a lot of information, right? So how can I make a decision? Well, I will give you one more resource of information. Every year, so I'll show you this. I'll show you this one first from the Seattle Times. The Seattle Times is Seattle's largest newspaper. Every year, especially every election, they publish their endorsements. So endorsements means support. Who does the Seattle Times support in the election? So this endorsement is old. This endorsement is for August 1st. I am waiting for the Seattle Times to publish new endorsements for the November election. In these endorsements, you can see who the Seattle Times supports for Senate, Mayor, and in King County. So in Seattle, the Seattle Times supports Jenny Durkin for Seattle Mayor. And then you can read why the Seattle Times supports Jenny Durkin for Seattle Mayor. There are other alternative newspapers in Seattle. The most popular alternative newspaper is called The Stranger. And The Stranger publishes their own endorsements for elections. I will also wait for The Stranger to publish their newest endorsements for the November election. So same thing, lots of information, but you can see that The Stranger supports Dow Constantine for King County Executive, supports Ryan Calkins for Port of Seattle. Each news organization, each news publication publishes their own endorsements. So you can read the endorsements, and if you like The Stranger, and if you trust The Stranger, then you can just follow their recommendations, follow their support, and vote according to The Stranger's endorsements. So that's it. Okay, so now I read the voter's pamphlet. I read the internet. Now I vote. And then once I'm done voting, I fold this and then I mail it. That's it. It's very easy. I like voting. I think voting is very important. It's my responsibility as a member of Seattle and as a resident of Washington State to vote in my elections. I really appreciate politics. Politics is very frustrating, but I think it's important. So in this video, I talked a lot about how we vote in Washington State. We vote by mail. We don't have to go to a special location. I can vote from my house. I'm excited for this year's election in November because we will have a new mayor and new council members. This is really important for my job. So I will be paying close attention to who will win in the November election. Today's video was very complicated. I tried to speak slowly and clearly. However, I did use a lot of new vocabulary. So, if you have a question about this video, maybe a word that I said or a phrase that you could not catch, please message me below and I will clarify and explain it for you. If you like to talk about politics, of course, you can message below in the comments, or you can send me a message directly. Of course, if you like this video, then I encourage you to please subscribe to my LPLE YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel, and also like me on Facebook. That way you can receive updates for new podcasts and new videos. Also, if you like this, then of course, please share it with your classmates or your coworkers, your family, anyone. Thank you again, as always, for watching my videos, and I will see you soon. Take care.